Have you ever wondered why some older men naturally attract younger women with confidence and wisdom, while others instantly turn them off? The difference often lies not in age itself, but in certain habits that come across as unattractive. Younger women notice these behaviors right away, even if the man himself doesn't. Let me ask you, do you think attraction is more about age or about attitude? Share your thoughts in the comments. Psychologists have long observed that people are drawn to energy, confidence, and authenticity. Older men often have the advantage of life experience, stability, and perspective, qualities that can be very appealing. But when these strengths are overshadowed by negative habits, they can cancel out the attraction completely. The good news, most of these habits are easy to recognize and change. Think of it this way: just as a polished car loses appeal if it's covered in dents, even a man with wisdom and status can undermine himself with sloppy behavior. Younger women pay attention to signals: how you speak, how you carry yourself, and how you treat others. If those signals suggest insecurity, arrogance, or carelessness, interest fades fast. In this video, we'll uncover 7 of the most unattractive habits older guys fall into. Habits that younger women hate but rarely say out loud. By the end, you'll know exactly what to avoid and how to highlight your strengths instead. And if you find value here, make sure to write Science Site in the comments so I know you're committed to growth and self-awareness. One of the quickest ways older men turn off younger women is by trying too hard to act like they're still in their 20s. Instead of coming across as confident and authentic, it often feels forced and awkward. Younger women usually see through this behavior right away, and instead of admiration, it sparks discomfort. Jung might call this wearing the wrong persona, a mask that doesn't fit. Think of the man who dresses in overly trendy clothes that don't suit him, uses slang he doesn't fully understand, or pretends to enjoy music and activities that clearly aren't his style. While he might believe it makes him relatable, it actually sends the opposite signal: insecurity. Younger women are drawn to maturity, not mimicry. Psychologists explain this as inauthentic self-presentation. People can sense when behavior doesn't match someone's true self, and it creates a subtle tension. Instead of building attraction, it signals a lack of self-acceptance. Women want to feel like they're with someone secure in his identity, not someone desperate to erase his age. A real-life example is the man at a party who insists on proving he can keep up with the young crowd by over-drinking, bragging about old adventures, or trying to outdo younger men in games. Rather than making him seem fun, it highlights the gap he's trying to hide. Younger women notice this and often quietly pull away. The irony is that many older men have qualities younger women genuinely respect: wisdom, stability, and perspective. By trying too hard to act young, they throw away the very advantages that set them apart. What could be seen as attractive maturity instead comes off as immaturity. The solution is embracing your authentic self. That doesn't mean ignoring trends or refusing to have fun, but it does mean owning your age with confidence. Wearing what suits you, sharing experiences naturally, and enjoying activities you genuinely like all communicate strength, not insecurity. Younger women don't expect older men to be 20 again. They expect them to be comfortable in their own skin. Authenticity is far more attractive than artificial youth. Confidence in who you are today is what builds respect and attraction. So let me ask you, have you ever seen someone try so hard to act younger that it had the opposite effect? How did it make you feel? Secondhand embarrassment or just disinterest? Share your thoughts in the comments. Your perspective might help others realize how important authenticity really is. Another habit that quickly turns younger women away is when older men focus all their conversations on the past. While sharing stories and wisdom can be valuable, constantly reliving old glories or comparing how things used to be makes you seem stuck in time. Instead of showcasing maturity, it signals that you've stopped growing. Imagine sitting across from someone who, no matter the topic, always drifts back to their college days, their first job, or the good old times. At first, these stories might be interesting, but after a while, they begin to feel repetitive. Younger women want to connect in the present moment, not feel like they're dating a history book. Psychologists explain this as temporal bias, where someone becomes locked in a past identity rather than embracing ongoing growth. While nostalgia can be comforting, too much of it creates distance. Younger women often look for partners who are still curious, adventurous, and forward-looking. Not men who have mentally retired into memories. A real-world example is the man who constantly reminds everyone of how much better music was back in my day, or how young people don't understand real work. Instead of sparking admiration, these comments create a generational divide. They make younger women feel unseen, as though their experiences and culture don't matter. The danger is subtle but powerful. When someone only talks about their past, they unintentionally communicate that their best years are behind them. Younger women, however, are drawn to men who still have goals, passion, and direction. They want to see that life with you means growth, not a steady decline. Jung might say this reflects an over-attachment to the persona of one's youth. By clinging to who they were, some men avoid embracing who they are now. But true maturity lies in integrating past experiences into a living present, not hiding in them. The solution is balance. Sharing meaningful lessons from the past is attractive when it's connected to the present. Here's what I learned then, and here's how I apply it now. This shows growth, not stagnation. Younger women respect men who continue evolving no matter their age. So let me ask you, do you know someone who always circles back to old stories until it feels exhausting? Did it inspire respect or did it quietly push you away? Share your reflections in the comments because sometimes the best way forward is to stop looking backward. One of the most unattractive habits older men can fall into is relying on money or material possessions to impress younger women. While financial stability can be appealing, constantly flaunting wealth sends the wrong message. It suggests that you believe money is your only value, overshadowing qualities like kindness, wisdom, and authenticity. Think of the man who brags about his car, his watch, or the size of his bank account on the first conversation. Instead of sparking admiration, it often creates distance. Younger women may wonder, is he trying to buy my attention because he doesn't think he has anything else to offer? Confidence in character is far more attractive than a list of possessions. Psychologists describe this behavior as compensatory display, showing off external achievements to cover up internal insecurity. Jung might connect it to an over-identification with the persona of the successful provider, where a man hides behind symbols of wealth instead of letting his authentic self show. The result is shallow connection, not genuine attraction. A real-world example is the older man who takes a woman to a fancy restaurant but spends the entire evening talking about how much it cost or how exclusive it is. The environment may be impressive, but the constant focus on money drains the moment of sincerity. What could have been memorable becomes a display instead of a shared experience. The irony is that financial stability is often already respected by younger women. It doesn't need to be shouted. What truly matters is how it's paired with humility, generosity, and character. Bragging about wealth only signals insecurity, while using it thoughtfully, like supporting meaningful experiences, shows wisdom and care. The danger of leading with money is also practical. It attracts the wrong kind of attention. A woman interested only in wealth will stay as long as the benefits last, not because of genuine respect or attraction. Building a relationship on materialism is like building on sand. It collapses quickly. The solution is simple but powerful. Let your character speak first. Share your perspective, your values, your passions. If your financial success comes up naturally, it will only add to the impression of balance. Younger women are far more likely to admire a man who is grounded and generous than one who boasts endlessly about numbers. So let me ask you, have you ever seen someone try to use money as their main source of attraction? Did it come across as confidence or desperation? Share your thoughts in the comments because understanding this distinction can help others avoid the same mistake. Another habit that younger women find deeply unattractive in older men is neglecting health and appearance. While age naturally changes the body, letting go completely signals a lack of self-respect. Younger women don't expect perfection, but they do expect effort. When an older man ignores fitness, hygiene, or even basic grooming, it communicates indifference, not maturity. Think about meeting someone who hasn't updated their wardrobe in decades, slouches from poor posture, or seems uninterested in maintaining energy. Instead of signaling wisdom, it sends the message that he has stopped caring. Younger women often see this as a red flag. If he won't care for himself, how can he care for a relationship? Psychologists call this behavioral neglect, where someone unconsciously demonstrates a decline in motivation through their habits. Jung might explain it as falling into inertia, being overtaken by the shadow of resignation instead of embracing life's ongoing growth. Younger women sense this energy instantly, often interpreting it as defeat. A practical example is the man who insists, "Looks don't matter at my age," while ignoring basic health. He skips checkups, avoids exercise, and eats poorly, then wonders why he struggles with energy or confidence. What he doesn't realize is that younger women admire vitality, not necessarily youth, but the effort to live well. The truth is that caring for your health is attractive at any age. Simple habits like regular exercise, good grooming, and mindful eating send a strong signal. I respect myself and I value life. This mindset is magnetic because it shows discipline and self-awareness. It's not about chasing youth. It's about honoring the body you have. Ignoring health also has emotional consequences. When energy is low, mood often suffers, leading to irritability or passivity. Younger women notice this shift. Instead of seeing a strong partner, they see someone weighed down by habits that could easily be changed. Effort, not perfection, is what truly matters here. The solution is straightforward. Invest in yourself. That doesn't mean pretending to be 25 again. It means presenting the best version of who you are now. Dressing appropriately, staying active, and keeping good hygiene are not superficial. They are signs of respect for yourself and those around you. So let me ask you, do you believe women notice the difference when a man clearly takes care of his health and appearance? Share your answer in the comments. It may inspire others to start making small but powerful changes today. One of the fastest ways older men lose the respect of younger women is by being overly controlling or paternalistic. Instead of treating her as an equal partner, they slip into the role of a father figure, offering unsolicited advice, making decisions on her behalf, or constantly correcting her. What they see as guidance, younger women often see as condescension. Picture a scenario where she shares an idea and instead of listening, he interrupts with, No, let me tell you how it really works." Even if he means well, the underlying message is clear. He doesn't see her perspective as valid. Over time, this behavior builds frustration and distance because it strips her of agency and respect. Psychologists call this dominance masking as care. While the man may frame his actions as protective, what he's really doing is asserting control. Jung might interpret this as the shadow of insecurity, where a man clings to authority to avoid confronting his fear of irrelevance. Instead of empowering the woman, he tries to bind her. A real-life example is an older partner who insists on choosing the restaurant, planning the schedule, and even commenting on what she should wear. At first, it may seem like confidence, but soon it feels suffocating. Younger women value maturity, but they also value independence. When control replaces respect, attraction quickly fades. The irony is that genuine strength comes from collaboration, not dominance. A man who listens, respects, and supports her choices communicates far more confidence than one who tries to control everything. Younger women admire men who can share wisdom when asked, but who also trust them to navigate life. The danger of paternalism is that it often disguises itself as care. "I just want what's best for you" may sound kind, but if it overrides her voice, it's no different than control. Relationships thrive on equality, and when one side always plays the authority figure, the bond becomes unbalanced and unsustainable. The solution is humility. Share experience when it's welcome, but never force it. Respect her autonomy, ask questions, and treat her perspective as valuable. Instead of playing the father, play the partner. This balance builds trust and keeps the relationship healthy. So let me ask you, have you ever seen a relationship where one person acted more like a parent than a partner? How did it affect the dynamic? Share your reflections in the comments. Your insight could help others recognize the fine line between guidance and control. One of the most unattractive habits older men fall into is dismissing the opinions and interests of younger women. Instead of engaging with curiosity, they brush off her perspective with phrases like, "You're too young to understand," or "That's just a phase." While they may think they're being wise, it actually communicates arrogance and disrespect. Imagine a conversation where she shares her passion for a new career path, and he immediately waves it off as unrealistic. Rather than feeling supported, she feels belittled. Younger women don't expect older men to share every interest, but they do expect respect for what matters to them. Dismissing her voice undermines the very connection she is seeking. Psychologists call this invalidating communication, where one person minimizes the feelings or ideas of another. Jung might see it as a refusal to adapt, a man projecting his rigidity onto others. Instead of embracing growth, he clings to his worldview, leaving no room for her individuality. This resistance creates emotional distance. A real-world example is the man who constantly criticizes modern culture, whether it's music, technology, or fashion, without listening to why she values it. Even if his critique has merit, the tone often feels dismissive. To her, it signals, what you like isn't important, which is one of the quickest ways to shut down attraction. The danger here is not disagreement itself. Disagreement can be healthy. The danger lies in dismissal, where her perspective isn't even considered valid. Relationships thrive on mutual respect, and without it, conversations turn into lectures. Instead of connection, there's a hierarchy, and younger women will not stay where they feel unheard. Ironically, dismissing her interests also closes the door on growth. Younger women often bring fresh perspectives that can broaden an older man's worldview. By rejecting them outright, he not only damages the relationship, but also limits his own evolution. Jung taught that wholeness requires openness, something lost when dismissal becomes a habit. The solution is simple: listen actively. You don't have to agree with every opinion, but showing genuine interest signals respect. Asking questions, engaging with her passions, and even being willing to learn something new demonstrates strength, not weakness. Younger women value men who can balance wisdom with openness. So let me ask you, have you ever shared something important only to have it brushed aside as unworthy? How did it make you feel? Share your experience in the comments. It could be the reminder someone needs that respect is the foundation of attraction. We've explored 6 of the most unattractive habits older men often fall into. Trying too hard to act young, living only in the past, showing off money, neglecting health, being overly controlling, and dismissing her opinions. Each of these habits undermines the very qualities that could make older men attractive: maturity, stability, and self-confidence. Younger women aren't turned off by age itself. They're turned off when age is paired with insecurity or disrespect. The lesson here is simple. Authenticity is far more powerful than imitation. When an older man embraces who he is, maintains his health, respects others, and continues to grow, he communicates strength and maturity. That's what draws people in, not attempts to compete with youth or cover insecurities with money or control. Life experience should be an advantage, not a weight. By avoiding these habits and focusing on authenticity, older men can build relationships that are not only attractive but meaningful and lasting. Respect, openness, and genuine self-confidence never go out of style. So here's my question for you. Which of these habits do you think is the most common, and have you seen it in real life? Share your thoughts in the comments. Your insight may help someone else recognize these patterns and make a change. And if you found this breakdown valuable, write "Psi Insight" in the comments. That way I'll know you stayed with me until the end, and together we'll keep uncovering the truths about psychology, attraction, and authentic living.